Hey guys, it's Ojama Man. I forgot to really shoot an opening, so instead of that, here's just going to be the list so we can get this all kind of out of the way before we watch the actual breakdown of the list. Appreciate it. This is what you wanted anyways, the good stuff.
Alright guys, we're going to be starting with the main deck as you often do. These are the bread and butter in the entire deck. We're running pretty much almost every name we can get for the plunders. I don't have these organized correctly, bear with me. So we're going to be running 3 of the Whitebeard. He's going to be your guy you're hoping to open the most. Because on the, basically when he's sent from field or hand, he has the ability to search the deck for another plunder and special summon it. That's pretty huge. Next we're going to have the Bluebeard. Bluebeard's another good one. We're running 3 copies as well. We're going to be running 3 for pretty much all of the Plunder Patrol named monsters we have. He's a special summon from hand. He has the same kind of ability as the Whitebeard, where if he's discarded or sent from field, you can discard a card to draw a card. It comes up when you're kind of cycling for that last plunder name, so you can activate ship abilities during your opponent's turn, but it's not kind of all the time. It's situational, but it does come up. Then we're going to go on to the Golden Hairs. We are running 3 of the Golden Hair. She's pretty good. With the side deck we're running, you can use Owl Mirage to turn her into a 1-card Blackbeard. That's like the worst case scenario you have, but having a Blackbeard is better than not having a Blackbeard. So with her, you can just discard from the hand. She's a tuner, and the Whitebeard is also a tuner. I didn't mention that, but it comes up because you are running a couple of the Synchros, the Moark, and the Bran, and then the White Aura Whale. Then we're also running 3 of the Redbeard. He is another one of the guys that allows to special summon during your opponent's turn by matching the attributes. It's nice to have. Typically, you'll be using Whitebeard to search out Redbeard so that you can have access to another additional special summon during your opponent's turn. Then we're going to have 3 of the Black Eyes. These guy is really good. He lets you add cards from your discard pile back to your hand to special himself. Just kind of nutty. He was a later piece of support for the deck. Absolutely need to stay competitive because with Plunder, you're always kind of losing cards here and there, and you need to keep some in hand to activate the Plunder abilities. So it's just nice to have a guy like him. Then we're getting on to the, we're only running 3 extenders. We're running 3 Silent Angler. He's this free special from hand when you have a water monster. He locks you out of special something from the hand for the rest of the turn, so you have to be aware of that. But it's worth it. He's usually a reason sometimes you'll be able to get onto your XZs and into some Synchros. As far as like hand trap monsters, we're having 3 Ash Blossom. With the 3 Ash Blossom, you know, it's not great in the current meta, but right now it's still being able to trade 1 for 1. They're cheaper now since of all the reprints. But being able to trade 1 for 1 for some key pieces, like this card still sweeps branded opening, still really hurts people trying to, like, if they have a bad hand, you can help them stay bricked. So I still like Ash. Along with Ash, we're running 3 Infinite Impermanents. Running Imperm, because I always like having the chance to be able to just set it, where you get the extra value of having it be like a spell trap negate, potentially, and also being able to hit monsters without having to worry about being called by the grave. So this is something that I run that I don't see a lot of other people run. It's Torrential Tribute. Basically, between this and the Plunder XZs, you can detach to protect all your Plunder cards. So this is basically just a free board wipe during your opponent's turn when they summon if you have the Moark. Sometimes if your plays aren't that good and you know they're ending on like a Wind-Earth board, setting this and then making Moark is better than making Blackbeard. Because then you still get to clear their entire board anyways at one point. And then they still have to pop the Moark an additional time before they can destroy it for real. As far as other traps are doing, we're running Booty. We are running 3 of Plunder Patrol Booty. This card's pretty nice. It's just helping you in the grind game. Because you get to change an attribute so you can force them to be on symbol, on attribute for all of your Plunder cards. And then also you get the free special summon. You never really use the ability to send from graveyard to deck. It really doesn't come up. You're only ever really using this or activating this if you have targets for the special summon. Then we're going to get into the spell cards. We have 2 Potted Desires. You're running so many of the same names that banishing 10 doesn't really matter. You just want the 2 cards because sometimes, like on a 5-card hand, it looks a little rough. So you're really hoping to hit that 6th card and really be able to start doing some stuff. I am a monster, so I am also on the 1 by Called by the Grave. You know what it does, probably should be banned. And then for field cards, we're running 4 of the field spell. This card's really nice. It's basically turns any single card in your deck into another Plunder in your deck. Typically, you'll be either using these to look for your like Bluebeards starting the game, or after basically turn 1, you're pretty much turn this card into any card in your deck becomes Black Eyes, and then you'll be able to go into either Xyz or Synchro play with all of the recurring of the Black Eyes. And for more Plunder named cards, because the names are so important for the extra deck monsters, we're running 2 of the Emblem of the Plunder Patrol. This is an equip spell where it gives 500, and it also gives protection, and it counts as being equipped to the Plunder card. It's really big, and you can send the monster you have equipped with to special summon from the extra deck as well. You lose the protection when you use that, but you still keep the 500 attack bonus. We're running exactly 1 of the fusion spell. The fusion spell is all right. It's nice to have exactly 1 of, because typically when you're removing a card with Moark, you add back a spell. This is a nice spell to add if you already have the Shipyard. If you have something that lets you add it back to your hand, you can be doing that as well in case you have a leash set up. And then this is the real sauce of the deck, kind of the reason I thought it was worth making a profile. We're actually running all 5 pieces of Exodia. So with the 5 pieces of Exodia, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. Like, hypothetically, at any point where you have all 5 of these cards, you win the game. Like, you know that. This is the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. This is pretty basic. So, ideally, if you're looking to draw all 5, say you're versus a Mystic Mind deck, and they don't really have a win condition. They're just kind of sitting there, trying to mill you out. They played it, and they didn't have any really follow-up, because your board's just better than theirs. And they're scared of you. And you're just sitting there and drawing cards over and over. Eventually, you're going to draw all 5 pieces. And when you do, that's game over. That's lights out. You may be saying it might brick a little bit. In my personal experience, I haven't really ever bricked on these too much. Hands down, they have won me more games than I have lost with these. Guaranteed. And next, we're going to be getting into the extra deck. All right, in our extra deck, we are going to be running 3 of Blackbeard. You can go through 3. With most of the ships, you can go through 3. You just start recurring so hard, just either bringing back, like using Blackbeard to make lists and then bring Blackbeard back up with the list effect. You can do that a lot. Between that and just making multiple copies by every like Black Eyes being able to become a Blackbeard, you can go through all 3. He's pretty much one of the better options you have in the deck, just because you get that draw, which you need for every single ship is you need to be able to discard that Plunder name. Next, we're going to be running 2 copies of List. We're only on 2 copies of List. It's a really strong effect, but being fusion means that you have to be able to hit the attribute, which is on the opponent's side of the field, which is a bit tougher and less consistent. So we're only running 2, and if you burn through 2 in the game, you probably already won, or it's a really big grindy game, in which case you're probably close to winning anyways, because you're going to be able to hit that Exodia. And then we are running 2 of the Moark. 2 Moark. You could probably be able to go up to 3 if you really wanted, if you didn't like something else I'm running in the extra deck. Going up to 3 is no problem, because it comes up so much. Like I said before, with him, he has that protection and that targeted banish. So you can basically send the cards off and protect him from destruction with the Torrential Tribute. You can target and banish. List is the monster negate and destroy. He's the targeted banish. And the last of the Plunder cards is the Brawn. Brawn hits spell traps. He's a Synchro 8. So basically everything in your deck is level 4. So you're making Synchro 8s no problem with just a single tuner of the Golden Hair or the Whitebeard and any of the other monsters in the deck. He comes up a little bit less than the other ones, but pushing for game he's nice because he gives 500 bonus to all the other Plunder monsters on the board, which is pretty big. Another card that's kind of a blowout Synchro card is this White Aura Whale. He pops every single monster in attack position on the opponent's field, and he can attack twice. He does piercing. He's big. You're not making him a lot, but every time you make him, you win the game, so he's worth being in there. He's probably like a 1 every 5 game card, and he wins you those games. We are running Elmirage for that 1 card Blackbeard, so we're taking the Golden Hair, linking her off for Elmirage, and then discarding a card from hand to bring her back, so we can link off Elmirage and Golden Hair for the Blackbeard. Those hands aren't your strongest hands, but they're better than not having Blackbeard. We're running a couple Xyz targets. We're running Abyss Dweller. If you've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while, you know that Abyss Dweller can win games on its own. Especially in the current meta, I think Abyss Dweller is in a really strong place. And it's nice being an actual, water deck because he gets that 500 attack bonus. And then we're going to be running Bahamut Shark and Toad. These guys are the duo. These are the dudes, the Robin Hood and the Lil Jon of water cards. If you have level 4 waters, you're probably looking to make these guys. You know what Toad does. He's never getting banned, ever. Don't believe the hype. He's fine. They should just hit actual Sprite cards. And then I was actually running the 3rd Morg, so that's pretty cool. I do agree. I should be running 3, and it really helps with the grind game. Finally, we're going to be talking about the side deck. So with the sideboard, we're running a couple of Kaijus. We're running 2 of the multi-dimensional Dark Kaiju, Radiant. He just helps because then you can like basically put him on your opponent's board, get out your free Morg, and just clear him right away. You're not beating over the top of him, typically, by Morg itself, but at least you start getting those removals and those searches on the spell traps. Lava Golem's just good to have. He's up a little bit less. He helps in certain games where you have a couple special summons in hand, but otherwise you kind of need your normal summon, so he's not great. But it's nice that he does have one of the attributes you can special summon off of. For spells, we're going to be having Harpy's Feather Duster. You got to be prepared for mine. Twin Twisters, same kind of stuff. You know there's been a lot of powerful spell traps playing against the spell trap decks. You want the option to pop multiple at once. I don't really like Cosmic because going 1 for 1 doesn't feel that good, where you could just maybe double up on them. And then I really dislike Pendulum, so we're running 3 anti-spell Fragrance. I don't want to see that ever. I don't want a pen player to play the game. I would prefer if they just left. So we're running 3 anti-spell. Every single one of the Plunder cards is a Fiend, so that's why we're running Rivalry. You're not going to make a lot of friends running Floodgates, but you're going to make a lot of dubs, though. So we're running the 3. And then finally, in case we're going second, kind of paired up with the Kaijus, is going to be 3 copies that evenly match. We're not releasing as many token decks right now, but it's still just a good card. You leave them on 1 card. It may not just be the blowout of leaving them on a single token, but it's still really good. It's still going to help you win a lot of games. I appreciate you guys watching the profile. Like I said, Exodia is kind of the truth. We're going to be going over to some test hands so I can kind of show you what's going on, show you how it feels, show you the grind potential. All right, so we're back with the test hands, just kind of showing off what the deck can do, kind of seeing what the real spice is and the differences running this particular version. We're going to draw our opening hand. Okay, good start, good start. Really is coming down to the 5th card. Okay, we just win. This is what I'm saying. Like, other decks can't do this. You can't just do this in other decks. You have to be playing the Exodia engine. This is what I'm talking about. This happens more often than you'd think. Run the odds. Check the scorebook. Check the scoreboard. You just won. So, you know, we want to make sure we're randomized. Otherwise, you see people, like, they just say they're doing random test hands, and they're not. Their decks are just set up so they can show you the cool combo that I can do 1 every 30 games. We're not going to try to do that here, though, okay? All right, and then we're kind of back on to more test hands. The first one was lit. I admit that. You're going to say that was an outlier. And I really don't think it was. When you play a deck this good, things like that just happen. Here we're drawing the first 5 again. Okay. You know, they say, oh, okay, here we go. They say that, like, these are bricks. And, like, you're building a house, sure, but you're building a mansion. Because all you do is win. We saw the 2 ones. You know, you're saying outliers, outliers this, outliers that. Sure, we won those games, though. Like, they can't take that from us. So we're going to draw up another test hand to actually see what we can do with this. Okay, so we're seeing the Plunder part of the deck. That's good. Like, these, like, right here, this is, like, straight up, this is Bahamut Shark Toad. That's just 2 cards. Let's see what else we get. That's another Golden Hair, Ash Blossom. That'll help later, I suppose. Look at this. This is just nuts, actually. This is insane. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with Golden Hair, get the free special onto the Bluebeard. Then we're going to overlay. We are going to overlay into the Bahamut Shark. I know you're saying, oh, another water deck that makes Bahamut Shark. How cute, how original. Yeah, but it wins games. And then we're going to detach, get out your boy. Hopefully they never hit him. Hopefully they just actually are willing to ban Sprite cards. It's totally awesome. And then from here, we kind of have a little bit of stuff going. So we're going to do this here. We're going to bring down the Black Eyes, adding back to hand the Bluebeard. Then we're going to pitch from hand Bluebeard. I'm sorry, I have to reread my cards. It's been a while since I played this deck. Yeah, that's fine. We're doing that. You know what, actually, our board's good enough. We're just gonna go straight into making Blackbeard. So we're gonna link these guys off, and like, unfortunately, and also fortunately, this is the best board your deck's making. This is a budget after all, but like, this beats so much that it's kind of nutty. So like, you know, you hang with me. Some of the games are gonna be an absolute blowout when you hit those Exodias, but some games are gonna look like this. It's gonna look like Blackbeard, Toad, Pass. And versus a lot of players, that plus a single hand trap is gonna be enough to help you win games at locals. Well, then we'll get some more glory shot for the deck. Alright, here's going to be the fourth and final test hand. We've kind of seen what the deck can do, how strong it is to be running the Exodia engine in your grind game, and just being able to potentially win the game turn 0. So we're going to be looking at one final going first test hand. Alright, so far, okay. You know, we're hitting a lot of the traps. We start being playable right about here, and this is enough to really push us over the edge of what we can do. And then what we can do is make Toad. You're saying, like, that's good. It's good enough. And it is. It is good enough. I agree with you. So we're going to start off by playing the Plunder Patrol Shipyard, the field spell, and from there, we're going to pitch off the Redbeard. Pitching Redbeard to set up our Black Eyes. Just do a quick shuffle there, keep them on their toes. We're going to be going straight for the Whitebeard, because he's the coolest. Then we're going to be playing normal summoning Whitebeard out. Then we're going to special summon Black Eyes, adding back to hand the Redbeard. So this is the part that's always a little tough about Plunder, is like one of your best plays here is just going into Blackbeard. But the chances, if you're making Blackbeard, there might not be anything else like they play in your symbols until we get that Earthship. So we're just going to link these guys off for Blackbeard. And then, you know, the GOAT of all time, the Whitebeard, getting us that search for another Plunder. We're going to search out the Redbeard, so during their turn we get another chance at summoning. So we'll put him down in defense position. And we'll sit both our back row. This is actually pretty good, having the booty. This means that we're going to be able to activate our special summons on the Plunders. And that means we'll be able to bring back the Whitebeard. So we're getting potentially like 2 to 3 Moarks here, Blackbeard, and we have the Plunder in hand. This is kind of nuts. These are kind of the games you're going to be seeing, where you just, when you hit the Plunder part of the deck and not really see the Exodia, like, it's good to have it in there, because it's like an impending doom. Like, it's a boulder down a cliff. It's coming. Maybe it's like a year from now, it's going to be an avalanche. But you start rolling those pebbles on putting Exodia in the deck, you're going to get those dubs. And that's what we're going to be doing here today, is getting dubs every time we play this deck. I appreciate you guys tuning into my profile. Hope you have a great day. Ojama Man out.